Babies, so well, Alex, we back again with another clip. I want y'all to know over 98% of y'all are not subscribed. So do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We can waste more time. Let's go straight into it.
She wasn't fucked up. What makes you think that she wouldn't already be taken up by now? You think that she 30, 40, 50 years old and every single guy that ever came across her just missed out on a great thing? Come on, y'all. Can we really have a real conversation? Every single guy through her entire existence on the face of this earth, they just fumbled. They didn't know what they missed out on. Everybody was crazy. And you the one that discovered the diamond that's been visible for the whole world. She on social media. She had all of the hot spots. She making herself available. And you
Facts. Facts, bro. These are facts, man. You know, shout out to Anton Dangas. I've been watching his content. He popped up on my radar not too long ago, and I've been, really watching his content. He got some good shit on there. Make sure I go to his channel, subscribe to him. Everything that looks good is not always good. You feel me? People can be like, oh well, she looks good. She got a nice shape. She smell good. She keep herself together. She drive a nice whip. She got a good paying job. She don't got no kids or just one child, right? You can say all of these things. She can have all of these things. She can have certain perks, but not necessarily quality, right? Qualities. She can have certain perks to this person, or she might have certain things that other women don't have, but she's missing some of these feminine qualities. What are these feminine qualities? Submissiveness, and we talked about submissiveness before. It's not meaning you're just gonna be like a servant to me, but you are willing to follow my lead. She's always constantly bickering and back and forth with you, always has something to say. She's not really a person that you can get along with long term. Everything is good in the beginning, and if in that honeymoon phase they call it, everything is great. But once you start being around this person more and more, you start to find out, oh, I see why this guy left your ass. Now I see why you're not wifed up right now. They'll try to play to you like they have all these men. And shout out to Kevin Samuels. I was just watching one of his videos, and then the woman was trying to play off like she just had all of these men that were coming, just flocking to her, right? And he was like, no, you need to understand that just because they're in your profession, just because they are around you, does not mean that they are looking to wife you. You get what I'm saying? That's what it is. These women are gonna end up being alone with their favorite fur baby because they are not willing to improve themselves as a person. But we'll get back to more into that. Let's get back to the video.
You the one that just discovered her, even though she had children by 3 different dudes. All of them didn't want her. Her daddy don't want her. Her mama's disgusted at her. Her grandmothers keep trying to hold her accountable. She done busted down for God knows how many different guys. And you think that she was just hiding in plain sight and God put a veil over every guy's eyes that passed over her before he got to her, and then y'all let these simp coaches, man, listen, it's okay to get with that woman. You just missing out on a good thing. Then how come everybody else before me didn't see it?
Like these ladies, when you see these women, whether it be in social media, they're public figures, actresses that are older, they're still beautiful, right? They still look decently attractive, but they're not with men in their age bracket. And they go and get these younger guys, these guys that are half their age, right? That are young enough to be their children. And you're like, some of the women are looking at them like, oh yeah, go girl, Stella got our groove back, this, that, the third. But if you actually look at it for what it is, it's like, you know what? If it was a man in your same position, we'll be viewed as a predator, right? If we were men with women half our age, they look at you like you're a fucking sleazeball, a slime ball, right? But when y'all do it, oh yeah, Stella got her groove back, right? Oh, she got a nice young hot boy toy. Get me? They're allowed these things. But when a man can pull women that are younger than him, he has to be still doing something right. And when a woman pulls men that are younger than her, she has to be doing something wrong. Because why hasn't she landed her husband, right, at a younger age? Once the woman gets out of high school, they have that like from 18 to what, let's say 25. I'll push it a little to 30, where they'll find their husband usually, and the husband is usually a tad bit older than her because he's already established and everything. Get me? if she doesn't stick it out with this man and then she fumbles the guy that she's with, because we talked about this before too. Everybody talks about this. Women are the gatekeepers of sex, right? Sexual relationships, and men are the gatekeepers to marriage relationships in a whole as a whole. You may be withholding sexual pleasure from this man, but at the end of the day, the man is the one that's gonna make he's gonna make or break this whole dynamic. If he decides he doesn't want to get married, you can't make him get married. If he decides he's not going to have kids with you and sees that you're nuts and you're batshit crazy, there's really nothing you can do about that. So, I mean, unless you just fake it till you make it, and then you start changing, you see all of these guys that just pass this woman up, despite her looks, despite what she may seem to be. Once you figure out that she is not that, if you're any type of man, if you've been around the block, you will understand these things, right? Because you have some of these guys out here that will settle for that bullshit. They'll settle for a woman with, 3, 4 kids by 3, 4 different baby dads, right? And feels like you owe her something. You go to take her on a date, she's expecting $200-$300 on your first date, right? Spent. She's expecting you to spend $200-$300 on your first date, expecting Uber, expecting VIP treatment. And baby, we just getting to know each other. The production of these types of women are ramping up, and these guys are just pretty much just being content with being alone. They're becoming hip and are saying that, look, I don't have to deal with this. Especially if you are, if you have no children, you have one child, you're a single father, and you have a good paying job, and you know that you are leagues above most of the competition out here. You are not going to sit back and just be like, I'm getting a bad deal here, right? I'm getting a bad deal. I am not paying 20 grand for a 10-year-old car with 200,000 miles on it. That's just ludicrous. If I do that, I mean, come on, man. You might as well, I'm good enough if you throw me on the ground and call me dirty. Ain't no way. Men are not settling for this nowadays. It's going to take more than just a pretty face and a nice body. Spot these women. Spot these red flags that they be giving out. When you see that entitlement from their first date, from their first engagement, how they interact with people around them, their children, right? Their loved ones, how they interact with these people. That's foresight to come. How she's gonna treat you if y'all get into a committed relationship, right? Is she money hungry? Is she high maintenance, right? High maintenance. A 10-year-old BMW is a money pit. 20-year-old BMW is a money pit, right? That's high maintenance. Some of these things, they look good but are not good for you. Men would much rather settle for a woman that is more reserved or more on the average scale than a woman that is higher above on the 8-9 side, because I don't believe there's anything as a 10 as such as a 10, because of her cooperation, her willingness to listen, her being able to be a helpmate to this man, her making his life easier rather than making it more difficult. And everything you say, there's always a response to it. Not saying you can't have your own opinions, but why does everything that I say have to be you have something to say about it, right? If we're in a relationship, you got to understand the dynamics. I am the head of this, and if we're gonna make this work, I'm gonna need some type of cooperation, right? I'm gonna need you to fall in line to get behind. But I don't know. But I do know one thing though. Make sure I dine your I's across your T's. It's your boy Alex. Catch y'all on the next one.